B2B Cambodia, the portal for business use in Cambodia.
Could you kind of share what you have learned, like key lessons or insights from your experience investing here in Cambodia?
Patience is often required. Things don't always happen as quickly as you like. The working hard to understand the perspective of those that you're dealing with, also very important. Understanding that it's a long-term growth economy. It will have ups and downs, but long-term, this place it's going to be really, really attractive.
So if you had to kind of regionally compare Cambodia, what would you say are the biggest opportunities and challenges that are unique to the context here when it comes to investments and attracting foreign investors?
There's a few that, there's the easy ones like lower cost labour force than what Thailand has. The political stability is a big thing. Having a dollarized economy also helps. That ongoing investment in infrastructure, they will all help. The other one is if you're a manufacturer and you're in Thailand, the floods of 10 years ago continue to be very front of mind for large manufacturers over there, particularly the Japanese. So having another manufacturing node or source just next door, it is quite attractive to them. But also, their working age population is shrinking. So if you're a manufacturer in Thailand, if you can start to move just next door, that's a whole lot easier than moving somewhere completely different.
There is some reluctance, I think, to invest in the Cambodian market, sometimes due to small ticket sizes, maybe country reputation issues, also lack of liquidity in the market. So how do you think that international investors can be engaged with to kind of encourage them to come and dip their toes in the Cambodian market?
Cambodia has a reputation issue, and it has for a long time. And I don't think it's always sold itself very well to international investors. But when people come here and see it for themselves, most people are blown away by the opportunity here and by the development that's here and where Cambodia's at. So being on the grey list that the government has fixed, right, those things are really, really important to foreign investors. So, and it's one where the new government that's in, I've just been really impressed. I think they come across as, for foreign investors, they're going to come across as far more appealing and far more encouraging for investors coming in here. You also mentioned the issue of liquidity, which I think particularly relates to the stock exchange here. And the stock exchange here, it has not done as well as I think anyone would have hoped. And part of it is there is a lack of liquidity. The stocks on there, for the most part, a lot of them are too small. A lot of the IPOs have been badly priced. They're priced too high, so anyone coming in is almost guaranteed to lose money. And so we're not seeing the liquidity there that we'd like. Long term, again, that will change, but it will require a change in behaviour of those doing their IPOs.
Right. On that note, of course, there's bodies like the CSX and the SERC who I think have set some pretty broad targets or pretty optimistic targets for the securities exchange here. So if you had to kind of assess those broad targets and goals, would you say they're realistic, achievable?
I think you want to be ambitious, right? You don't want to set goals that are too easy because that's not really going to help the country progress. So I'm okay with them setting ambitious goals. My issue is more with those who are listing their companies and trying to maximise the value at the time of IPO instead of setting a reasonable and realistic valuation that makes, you want new investors, the new mum and dad investors who come in, you want to give them confidence that they're going to make money when they invest in the stock market. If they keep losing money, then they stop investing and they tell their friends and their friends don't invest. So I think that's where the issue is with the market.
What factors specifically do you think contribute to certain challenges in the capital markets here in Cambodia? And how do you think they could be overcome?
There's smaller issues such as, should it be in Khmer Real or US dollars? are the fees for trading too high, too low? There is the old saying of liquidity begets liquidity. So the more liquidity you have, you then get even more liquidity. But when you don't have much, it's very hard to get more. But it's that IPOs being priced too high, which guarantees people losing money, and then they don't come back and invest again. So for new issuers, it has to be sensibly priced IPO. Also, sensible dividend policies. So Phnom Penh Port, for example, it is a very well-run company. It's a great asset, but its dividend is, as a percent of its earnings, is one of the lowest in all of Asia. And there's no logic for that, right? They should be paying out a much higher dividend, and that would be attractive for investors and, again, would help get investors in.
So on the flip side, what opportunities do you see in the capital markets here in Cambodia for investors?
Over the next few years, you will start to see more companies looking to raise money on the capital markets. So for the last decade or so, if a company needed money to invest and it met the CSX requirements, so it had audited financials and was profitable, it was not hard for them to get money from a bank. It's getting harder now. There's less liquidity in the bank system. It's harder for people to get money out of the banks. Also, more and more companies are professionalising their management, more meeting CSX requirements. And so, given it's harder to get money from the banks, CSX becomes more of a viable option. You will start to see more and more listing. And once you've got a lot more stocks on the market, it's going to be more attractive to investment management firms coming in to support that. So you've got demand and supply both growing together. The other one that is one to watch is the National Social Security Fund. So part of that's going to grow and grow as a investment pool. And part of where they are supposed to invest is into the equities markets. So that huge pool of money starting to go into the CSX should really help drive prices higher. And as those prices get higher, people make money, demand grows. Again, it gets more attractive for companies to list on CSX. There's a lot of conglomerates here that have grown and got more and more businesses in their portfolio. Now, they won't want to list at the kind of holding level, at the conglomerate level, but increasingly I think you'll start to see them list some of their smaller subsidiaries or some of their subsidiaries to raise capital, help with profile. I think that will happen more and more.